Foreign Affairs, Chapter 3, Revisionist History. You storm out of the classroom still reeling from the announcement of your project partner. I cannot believe Professor Masako paired me up with Blaine. D is just a step behind, and you're soon joined by your bodyguard. You know, Blaine's really not that bad. Easy for you to say. Last I checked, your kingdom hasn't been on the brink of war with Ardonia for centuries. We'll be stuck working together for hours. If my people find out I'm toast. Like, left in the toaster until it starts a fire toast. Some people like a little extra char on their bread. What does that even mean? I don't know, I was trying to go along with your metaphor. Besides, I think you have other things to worry about than the media somehow finding out that a project you're forced to do with Blaine. Like what? Like how Blaine feels about all this. I don't think he was particularly flattered by your reaction in class. Oh, I didn't think he noticed. Trust me, he noticed. Really? Dee rolls her eyes at your over-eager response. I just don't... From Mom. You're cut off by the sound of your phone ringing. The screen flashes your mom's name along with the official presidential seal. I gotta take this. Talk later. You wave to Dee and Murphy before taking a few steps down the path to find some privacy. Tatum follows you, his eyes scanning your surroundings. You can't help but feel invisible to him as you raise the phone to your ear. Hey, Mom. Since when are you friends with the Hayes boy? Mom, I already talked to Winston about that. It's all over the front page of Stalker Media. And it's only a matter of time before one of our home papers picks it up too. Don't worry about it, Mom. It's just some rogue paparazzi making a mountain out of a fact we didn't know Blaine would be here. Blaine, you're on a first-name basis with him now. Close your eyes and inhale deeply. All it takes is one phone call for your mom to make you feel like a little kid again. Well, we've just been partnered for a class project, but it wasn't my idea, and I'm gonna see if I can switch partners. Good, it's too risky to be around him without knowing what the Prime Minister is up his sleeve. Your mom sighs. You assume Winston is next to her, signaling for her to calm down. How are things at school otherwise? I guess that's the official end to that subject. School is fine. I've made some friends. My sweet mate, Dee, seems nice. I avoided the college roommate horror stories when I lived at State Manor during undergrad, but so far her biggest offense is scaring me whenever she walks into the room wearing one of her special Pavidinian anime face masks. There are so many levels of Swamp Thing going on. It's great to hear you're making friends, honey. Plus, that'll help strengthen your diplomatic ties with other countries. Besides, Ardona, I'm sure I don't need to go into that again. Yeah, charm the pants off everyone I meet. Got him. That's my guy. I've got to attend a briefing now. Okay, look. He sighs. The line goes dead before you finish your sentence. You turn to Tatum, who's waiting impassively a few steps away. Don't say it. Say what? I know you heard our whole conversation. This has been Mom's memo for the last few years. Too busy to even say goodbye. I wasn't gonna say anything. The old Tatum always got worked up when Mom brushed me off, offering a shoulder to cry on, or some ice cream to drown my sorrows in. I guess I should start getting used to the new Tatum. At least then he won't keep disappointing me. I bet Dee will understand, though, or even Blaine. Square your shoulders, feeling resolved. This way, I have an appointment with my staff advisor. You motion for Tatum to follow, but he's already flanking you, eyes constantly darting around, ready to protect you from the whirl. As you're about to enter the office, Tatum halts by the door. I'll keep watch here. I guess that's okay if you're absolutely certain my student advisor won't try to assassinate me. You smirk as you move to open the door, but Tatum puts a hand on your arm to stop you. Don't joke about that, Clark. I won't let anything happen to you on my watch. Okay. He searches your eyes for something, though you're not sure what, and you take the opportunity to really look at your childhood friend. You see the fire, the passion that used to burn so brightly when he talked about growing up to be a pilot, and a fireman, and a soldier. And he steps back with a nod, and the fire is snuffed down. You enter the office of your staff advisor and pull up short when you come face to face with... Hello, Clark! Dean Lundquist? Are you, my advisor? Actually, that'd be me. Aina pokes her head out from behind the dean's back and waves. Professor Basako was assigned to you, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, he'll be unable to take that role. If it's agreeable to you, Miss Seth has volunteered to take over. Oh, works for me. But thanks for double-checking. Of course, it's important to Vancross that the first son of Rutherland is happy. I promise to take good care of him. Very well, then. If everyone's satisfied, I'll leave you two to it. The deep nod, the dean exits the room. So, is she gonna oversee our sessions every week? Only if you complain. These meetings are more for parents than anyone else, to reassure them that someone's walking their kids through the program. So as long as Dean Lundovitz thinks your mom is reassured, we can do whatever we want. Oh, well, in that case, I can't be partners with Blaine in history. If it gets out that we're working together, it might even spark a literal war. That seems a little extreme. I wish I was exaggerating. My mom's already called. She's that worried about the optics. I don't envy you. You're in a tough spot. But unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. Professor Masako has a strict rule against partner swaps. Working with people you don't like is part of the learning experience here at Vancross. Masako likes to ensure that that happens early and often. Plus, you can't just run out of the room when someone you don't like enters, especially as a diplomat. Are you sure there's nothing I can do to change your mind? What if I asked you to dance again? I've been wanting to get to know you better, and not just for academic reasons. Aina pauses, her gaze drifting over your face carefully. As tempting as that might be, I'm afraid my hands are tied, but you'll get through it. I've had to work with my share of less-than-ideal partners here, too. So you know where I'm coming from. On that note, have any pointers for not murdering your partner? I might have a couple, but I don't dish out the information like that without the promise of a copious amount of caffeine. And there's a Michelin star cafe on the edge of the campus where we can find a private corner, if you want. Get some advice for dealing with difficult partners to give yourself a boost in your project with Blaine. Plus, you'll get some one-on-one time with Aina. You ever ask yourself, do the love interests get new outfits? Be nice. That sounds great. Thank you. I'm pretty sure I could use all the help I can get. Follow me. A few minutes later, Aina leads you into the chic coffee shop at the edge of the campus. Tatum lingers in the doorway, his eyes scanning the area. I'm gonna take a look around, stay where I can see you. You nod and join Aina at the back of the line. Should we grab a drink for your bodyguard too? Nah, he takes his job too seriously to take a coffee break. Too bad he'll be missing out on 100% certified organic, fair trade, ethically sourced goodness. Oh, for the love of... The person in front of you finishes up and you both approach the counter to place your order. Ain, how's your dissertation going? Oh, about as well as can be expected. How's your mom doing? Much better, thanks for asking. Her doctor says she might even be able to come home next week. That's great news. Tell her I'm pulling for her, okay? I will. So what'll it be, the usual? Nothing if not predictable. What about you, Clark? What would you like? I'll have a drip coffee, black, double shot, soy latte, hot chocolate, drip coffee, black. Coming right up, I'll bring your drinks over when they're done. You follow Aina to a cozy look by the window, where she sits on a couch with her back to the glass. Soy latte, get the hell out of here. This is the best spot in the cafe. You should see this way the sun comes through the window in the late afternoon. The whole room turns this pretty pink gold color. Ah, sounds magical. I should sit next to her. Your thigh brushes against Ana's as you settle in beside her on the couch. I can see why you like it here, with the sun on your back. They say the Empress of Bayang was so fond of this particular spot you can see her silhouette burned on the floor. See? Just there. She points to a faint outline on the marble floor. So, is that supposed to be her head, or maybe she sat cross-legged and those are her knees? Honestly, I think someone's built their art project materials there and invented the whole story as a cover-up. So the barista delivers your drinks. Ana takes a sip, then turns to you with a smile. So, working with someone you might not get along with, how can I help? Other than getting me out of it? Yes, other than that. Honestly, that's my only decent idea so far. Ana swirls her coffee thoughtfully, gazing at you over the rim of the cup. I think if this is your first chance at diplomacy. But our relationship with Ardona can't be fixed with diplomacy. They're way past that point. Who said you had to fix it? Besides, this isn't the only time you'll have to go to the negotiation wanting different things, even with a country you consider an ally. Well, that's true. You'd be surprised how far a little empathy can go. Here, I'll pretend I'm Blaine. Ana clears her throat and scrunches up her face in her best Blaine impression. Clark, can't make our meeting this afternoon. Wait, he doesn't sound anything like that. Stop laughing and just roll with it. I'm doing my best. Can we push our project session back 2 hours? Blaine. Why can't you make it? Did something come up? It's none of your business. You take a deep breath. Well, if it's affecting our project, then it's a little bit of my business. I see how it is. You only care because you're worried about getting a bad grade. I do care about my grade, but I care about you too? Oh, in that case, I'll tell you everything. You laugh, and Ana joins, breaking the character. Hey, you should stick to teaching. Your acting skills not so great. Okay, so it probably won't be as simple as that, but you were on the right track. Let's try this again using the advice I gave you. Pretend you just pitched an idea to Blaine, and he's giving feedback. Okay, so we have a list of topics to research, right? What if we used a draft to split them? I'll pick one I like, then you pick one, and on until they're all accounted for. I guess that's fair. But only if I can pick the first topic. Sure. Oh, and some of these topics are harder than the others, so we should rank them by difficulty forehand. So, neither of us gets stuck with too much research. Okay, now that really doesn't sound like Blaine. Ana sits back with a wide smile. You're probably right. I just couldn't help myself. It's a solid idea, one I absolutely plan on stealing for later. Go ahead, just keep focusing on empathy and you'll be golden. It sounds like you've worked with your share of difficult people. More than my fair share. Honestly, I had a student last year who argued they had diplomatic immunity to homework. Did it work? Not even close, so don't get any ideas. In fact, my professional life is filled with some pretty difficult relationships right now. Do you mean Professor Masako? He seemed pretty decent to me. No, he's a good mentor. So it's a romantic partner then? I wish. I've been in a monogamous relationship with my thesis since I started. Well, in that case, let me know if you ever break up, or even just want to take a casual break. Ana smiles at you and then hesitates. I don't know if that's such a good idea. Why not? You're not my professor. You're not giving me a grade, just some advice. True, but Vancross still wouldn't look kindly on that sort of entanglement. Raise your eyebrow at her choice of words, and she looks flustered. Wait, that's not what I meant. It's what I meant. But honestly, Ana, I just want to get to know you better. No expectations. We can cross any entangling bridges when we get there, okay? You and Ana smile at each other, but until Tatum taps on the glass from outside. What in the... He's like some sort of disapproving ghost. Emotions just watch, and you both look at the time. Wow, that hour flew by right by. I'd better head out, or I'll be late for my next student meeting. And I guess I better bite the bullet and start coordinating with Blaine. Just remember what we talked about, and you'll be fine. Thanks. We should do this again sometime. I'd like that. Aina flashes you one last smile before heading out. Somehow you can't get it out of your head all day. Saturday afternoon. You hurry through the library with Tatum and find Blaine waiting for you at the empty table. You slip into the empty chair across from him and pull out your laptop and assignment. You're late. Only by a few minutes. I was expecting the library to be a literal labyrinth. It's like a small country in here. I hear you. Rumor has it the Prince of Istan got lost in the stacks for days back in the 1920s. Dude nearly died. Seriously? Did you just make that up? If I were making it up, I wouldn't made the fool a senator from Rutherland. Tatum clears his throat meaningfully behind you. Blaine's gaze flickers up before he smirks and slides closer to you. Tatum clears his throat again. Ahem. Tatum never interrupts. He doesn't actually think Blaine's a threat, does he? We better get to work. Grab a pen and let's do this. It's way too early for you to be this enthusiastic. It's the afternoon? Like I said, way too early. Blaine's gaze is still on Tatum, though. Is he gonna babysit us the whole time? Excuse me? We all have bodyguards, but they aren't usually as physically attached to the body. It's okay, Tatum. He's harmless. Even I can take him. You jokingly flex your muscles, trying to diffuse the tension. Blaine smirks. Sounds like a challenge. Not helping. Tatum gives you one last look, and then nods. If you insist, I can patrol the perimeter instead. Signal me when you need an escort back to your rooms. After Tatum leaves, you turn your attention back to your assignment. Looks like Professor Masago wants us to research these topics in an in-class debate. We have to be ready to defend both sides for all of them. That's a pain, especially for... Bought it, as he says it. The one debate topic you know the two of you will never agree on. Seriously? It's like Professor Masago is trying to screw us over in particular. One. You don't think he's likely to see eye to eye on the Rutherland descent? You mean the Rutherland Revolution, when your Prime Minister overtaxed my people without giving them any say in the matter? No, I don't. Unless you're willing to agree that Rutherlandian colonies had every right to rebel against the unfair and unjust Ardonian rule. Nah, I'm good. Take a deep breath, remembering Aina's advice. Look, if we want to pass this project, we both need to be able to support either side of the argument, which actually means we need to listen to each other. Sounds an awful lot like code for Blaine you're wrong. It's not, I swear. I'm going to try to understand where you're coming from as well. Why? Because I want to grow as a person. Why even come to Vancross if you're not going to make an effort to learn from other students here? You know we don't have an audience, right? Right now? Good point. Probably time for you, to can the attitude, Blaine sniffs out a laugh. Well, I'm willing to give it a shot if you are. If only to prove that you have been wrong about me from minute one. Do you ever let up with that, Blaine? I'm genuinely trying here, and it's like you're determined to take it the wrong way. You're right. I am? I mean, I know I am, but I didn't think you'd easily agree. Why don't you put your money where your mouth is? Let's walk a mile in each other's shoes. No offense, but we do not have the same taste in footwear. Cute, I was thinking something a little bit more metaphorical. Blaine holds up his phone and waving in front of you. Why don't we swap phones? Is he serious? Our entire lives are on these things, text photos and browser histories. Exactly. We can lay out some ground rules, no posting or messaging as each other. I should hope not, but even so, you don't even have to trust me. You'll be sitting right here, so you'll have my phone, so you can retaliate if I try anything. So you're proposing mutually assured destruction? Exactly. To make a point, don't tell me you're not at least a little bit tempted to take a peek behind the curtain. He waves his phone in front of you, baiting you, and you can't fight the curiosity bubbling inside of you. Who knows if I'll ever have another chance to poke around like this? I don't have anything to hide, do you? Swap phones with Blaine. You rack your brain for anything potentially embarrassing on your phone, but nothing obvious comes to mind. I don't even have anything to hide either, so let's do this. Oh, sounds like a challenge. What should I snoop on first? Your calendar, pictures, text from mommy, dearest? He crosses or reaches across the table for your phone, but you yank it back. Wait, we need to circle back to those ground rules. No posting anything without permission, no changing contact names, no deleting accounts, no fun. Got it. And now hand it over. You hand him your unlocked phone and he slides his over to you. The two of you both eagerly begin tapping and scrolling. What do you look at? His browser history. You tap on the internet browser, but before you even get to the history, how do you have this many tabs open? Don't you ever close them? Oh, you're like me. I can't stand people who have like 57 tabs open. I might need to find those websites again later. That's what bookmarks are for? Besides, what could you possibly need open at all times? Sure you want to know? Could be nothing but prawns. I'll take my chances. You start snooping through the browsing history, weather, movie, pirating sites. Okay. If you happen to know any, let me know. Celebrity gossip pages, laptops, troubleshooting tips, online shopping. Surprisingly tame for the bad boy of Ardona. Sorry to disappoint. Next time I'll be sure to spice up my browsing history with some DIY recipes for drugs and searching for strip clubs. Wait, this is interesting. Looks like Mr. I Don't Care About Politics actually follows world news. There's a difference between wanting to get involved and wanting to stay informed. Maybe, or maybe you're actually more interested in the family business than you let on. Also, I'm exiting out of all your tabs. You're welcome. You better not have any nudes on here. If you're able to find one of me showing some skin, I can spare you the hassle. Grabs the bottom of his top, feigning like he's about to take it off. Blaine, we're in the school library. What if someone snapped a photo? So, you only want a private show, huh? Got it. Scroll through his image files, taking note of how many of them are dogs. Are all these dogs yours? 3 of them are. The rest are rescues from a local shelter back home. I volunteer there whenever I got time. Let me guess, PR stuff? My mom's advisors are always pushing me to do those. It started out that way. My dad thought it'd be when back the public after I punched a pushy photographer. But it was actually a lot of fun, so I kept it going. You keep scrolling until you come across a picture of Blaine with an attractive man about your age. Who's this? He's cute. Is this your boyfriend? Show Blaine the picture and the question, but he smirks. Why, jealous? Me? You wish. Every night I'm a shooting star, and yet... so he is your boyfriend then? My ex-boyfriend. We broke up over a year ago. Honestly, I think the public scrutiny got to him. It's not easy dealing with a spotlight when you aren't brought up that way. Or even if you are, sometimes. Blaine smiles ruefully, but doesn't respond. You know, you can tell a lot about a person by the way they keep a schedule. Oh boy, mine's in disarray then. You swipe through a few weeks of Blaine's life prior to coming to Vancross. Or in your case, the way your aide keeps it up. Judging by this, I'd say your life is even more micromanaged than mine. Tell me about it. I'm a grown man with my own life, but because Dad is in politics, I'm expected to give up everything anytime he asks me to. I know what that's like. Scroll through months and months of meetings, events, until one jumps out at you. Wait a minute, you met Emerald Fan, the celebrity chef? Yeah, my dad was giving her a Medal of Honor for raising climate change awareness. We're practically besties now. I'm so jealous. I wish my mom would give out some medals to some celebs so I could become friends with them. Huh, just added to the list of ways Ardona's better than Rutherland. Silence falls over the both of you as you continue to browse through each other's phones, punctuated only by Blaine's occasional laugh. What's so funny? Your social media posts. They're so canned and phony. I hate to break it to you, but yours aren't any better. Yeah, but I bet you actually wrote yours. What? You mean you don't? No. I had those privileges revoked years ago. Some poor intern takes care of it now. That's terrible. It's your account. Why do you go along with it? They're treating you like a child. It's not worth the hassle. Even if they did let me post, they'd still want to screen every word. But you don't have to agree to that. He shrugs with a studied nonchalance, but you can see a flash of pain in his eyes. With your parents, you've learned to pick your battles. Blaine's phone vibrates in your hand, and you glance down at the screen. It's a text from your mom. Speak of the devil. Is she that bad? See for yourself. He reaches over to pull up his chat history with his mother, and you scan the most recent entries. Okay. Jacob told me you snuck off to a party again. We are not paying all that tuition for you to goof off. You're there to inspire young voters to turn out for your father. Do not blow this for him. I heard from Jacob that you are having an important group project in world history. I expect a commendable performance from you, where there will be serious consequences, and I will be in touch with your professor. You haven't been answering my texts. I hope it's because you've been too preoccupied with your studies. I expect you to call me back at the usual time tomorrow morning. That give you a clear picture of what I'm dealing with. Honestly, she kind of reminds me of my mom. I did notice a lot of incoming phone calls from your mom in your call history. I guess we both have moms with high expectations. Who's this Jacob guy? He sounds like a snitch. My bodyguard. I usually ditch him so she can't use him to spy on me. So, does she really do that? Damn. Now my mom doesn't use my security against me. You sure about that? I guess not, but I don't think Tatum would do that to me. We used to be best friends, and anyway, what did your mom mean by serious consequences? Hopefully I never find out. Well, there's one way we can actually guarantee that. We actually work on the project. Damn. You and your sensible ideas, Rutherland. Hand me that book. You and Blaine begin to research the debate topics in the earnest. You're surprised to find yourself feeling not quite friendly, but at least comfortable in his presence. As the hours pass, you manage to power through most of the list. Was the Belusian Empire ultimately good or bad for the trajectory of humanity? On the pro side, there were a bunch of horny freaks. If it weren't for them, we'd probably have only just discovered kissing. Oh, come on. You really think Professor Mazigo will be impressed by that argument? Well, then you have a better idea. What about their emphasis on the arts? They funded writing, sculpting, among other things. Boring. Their fashion sense, though, that was on point. High heels for everyone, no eyebrows, iconic. I'll write that down, but you're leading the charge on researching it. Make sure you put advanced study the calculus and rejected the metric system on the cons. Ah, the gravest crimes against humanity. Suddenly a frustrated yell echoes across the room, making you jump in your seat. I don't understand why you're being so unreasonable. But what you're asking for, don't you think it's sort of unfair? What's unfair is that I'm stuck with a partner like you. If they don't quiet down, they'll get busted by fighting in my library. Both of you out now. The librarian walked with his arms crossed as Zira stomps out of the hall in a huff with Peter tailing anxiously behind. Blaine sighs and begins to pack up his books. Where are you going? We still have a lot of studying to do. To check on Peter. He's a good guy, but he's garbage at sticking up for himself. Blaine shoves the rest of his things into his bag and stands coming. While Blaine and the librarian find Peter and Zara still arguing in the quad. This is a group project. I can't do it all by myself. I'm not asking you to do it at all. No, just most of it. Blaine steps in between them, trying to diffuse the tension. What's going on? Not that it's any of your business, but I was just asking Peter if he'd take the lead on the project while I get some stuff sorted. But he won't even consider it. I just don't think it's fair for you to put your name on the project if I do the bulk of the work. Sounds like we're banking on Peter not putting up a fight. Don't give me that. You don't know what I'm going through. You can see my side, right, Clark? Well, sometimes you'll have to choose sides to boost your relationship with one classmate over another. If you play peacemaker in this exclusive scene, you'll help Z and Peter better understand each other and earn diplomacy points with both of them. Help them come to a mutual understanding. Instead of picking sides, why don't we help you come up with a solution you both can agree on? Yes, come on. Wasn't stepping in your idea? I'm willing to give it a try if Z is. I guess it can't hurt. We're already at rock bottom. Great, let's get started. Here, at the scene of the proverbial crime. Okay, fair point. Let's talk somewhere nicer. Like, a private garden. There aren't any, Astanian lilies there, right? My allergy meds can't begin to handle those. Pretty sure you're safe. A short time later, the four of you are sitting on the benches surrounded by flowers. Tatum and other bodyguards hover nearby. It's hard to stay mad in a peaceful place like this. First things first, you both need to listen and hear each other out. Listening to you two argue sounds like both of you are just talking at a wall. Yes, Peter. Are you implying our fight was my fault? As a neutral party, I think you're both at fault. Both of you tuned the other out for the sake of making your argument seem stronger. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to hear about your situation at home. And I guess it is possible I shouldn't have assumed you'd be fine doing all the work by yourself. Is this a meditation, or mediation, or confessional? Ignore him, I always do. As the others chuckle, you think back on Ana's advice. If I can help them show empathy for each other, then they might be able to work this out themselves. Z, why don't you tell us more about why you don't think you have time for the work on the project? There's been a lot of civil unrest in my country lately. My people are scared and unhappy, so my brother decided that we should give a speech to raise morale later this week. How serious are we talking? Teetering on the brink of civil war, I say. Serious? Oh my god. Oh, Z, that must be so difficult. Yes, especially since I'm terrible at public speaking. Even with the best speechwriters in the business, I can always sound completely robotic. I had no idea. No wonder you're feeling stressed. No joke, that's a ton of pressure. I don't want to flank on you, Peter, but I have to get this speech right. But that doesn't mean it's fair to expect you to do all the work. I get why you're upset. No, I should apologize too. I thought you were just trying to push the work on me. It never occurred to me to ask why. I've always wanted to manage to balance both schoolwork and the royal duties, so you thought Z was just being lazy and making excuses? Not sure that was what Peter meant. I may have been thinking something near that, but my frame of reference was all wrong. The youngest prince in a small kingdom doesn't have responsibilities like your Z. Your role is so much more critical. Well, I'm not going to argue with that, but I promise I'll try not to take out my stress on you next time. Or at the very least, I'll tell you why I'm stressed in the first place. Sounds like a deal. Sounds like the two of you are ready to hug it out. Keep dreaming. Thank you for all your help, Clark. Don't worry about it. You two did most of the work. All I did was give you a little nudge in the right direction. More like a giant shove. It's great that you're all holding hands and singing Kumbaya now. What are you gonna do about the debate project? It's not important, at least not on a national level. What matters is making sure Z's speech goes well. So I should probably help you practice, Z. Really? Sure. I'm pretty good at public speaking, plus I think if you write some of it yourself, it'll feel more authentic. Still, I don't feel right about getting your help without doing something in return, but if you help me get this speech right, I should have saved some time to do my share of the research. That's a great idea, see? You two can have it all. But if we're going to get both the project and your speech ready in time, we'll need to get started now. I can't believe I'm saying this, but let's get back to the library. You and Blaine watch as Z and Peter, flanked by their bodyguards, head back to the library. It pains me to admit this, but I'm impressed you handled that well. Maybe you have what it takes to make it at Vancross after all. I'm sorry, I must have heard you wrong. Did you just compliment me? Don't get used to it. And on that note, we should probably get back to our own research, especially now that the competition is back in play. Hours later. You and Blaine finally finish up your research for the day. Tatum silently shadows you on the way back to your suite. I'm exhausted. I can't wait to pass out. Try to make it back to the suite first, please. Oh, you won't fireman carry me back? I refuse to be Kevin Costner to your Whitney Houston. Not if it leads to another one of your renditions of I'll always love you. I promise myself, never again. Wait, was that a joke? I knew you had it in you. No, all you gotta do is crack a smile more than once a week. You nudge him with your elbow, but he just looks at you. That's not part of my job description. Well, sure, but I don't get why you can't do both. After all, you managed to have some fun with me and keep me safe at the party, didn't you? It was a mistake. I shouldn't have allowed you to roam the campus after dark. A mistake? He looks away, deliberately avoiding eye contact. Your chest grows heavy. That night felt like old times. We were friends again, if only for just a few minutes. Are you really going to pretend like it never happened? I miss how we used to tell each other everything. Even dumb news like McDermott's discontinuing your favorite rib sandwich. Listen, it's a limited time thing now, okay? It's also fake meat. The corner of Tatum's mouth quirks up for a split second, and so fast you almost miss it. It was an actual tragedy. I couldn't believe the public had such crappy taste. Ah, there he is. I knew my friend was still in there somewhere under the stoic, muscular exterior. Tatum shakes his head, his face is sober, but he can't hide the amusement in his eyes. Come on, you know everything there is to know about me. Tell me something new about you. Tatum rubs his hand through his hair before begrudgingly turning to face you. Well, my sister is pregnant again. Tatum, congratulations. You're gonna be an uncle again. Technically, I never stopped being an uncle. That would be nice to have another baby in the family. Grin at him as the two of you enter the dorm suite together. Hey, remember when we were just kids and I begged my mom for a little brother? You mean when you put little brother on your wish list for Santa? Oh my god, I forgot about that part. But I definitely remember when Mom got so sick of me asking, and she sat down with and explained where babies came from. Is that why you ran around trying to give someone a special hug at the ambassador's ball? I was spreading the love. Although I did feel bad when the ambassador's son burst into tears because he thought I'd gotten him pregnant. Tatum quickly turns so you can't see his face, but you can tell from the way his shoulders shake that he's holding back laughter. You poke his shoulder. Hey, I got a laugh out of you. I wouldn't call that a laugh, more like a pity chuckle. Progress is progress. Before Tatum can retort, Dee emerges from her room and tosses an envelope towards you. Catch. Tatum snatches it out of the air just before it reaches you. It was just an envelope, I swear. Why exactly do you think I'm here? Tatum examines the outside before dutifully handing it over the envelope. What's this? Dee, am I supposed to know what this is? Not unless you're psychic. My kingdom is hosting a state dinner this weekend, and we finalized our invites. And I got you on the VIP list. Oh boy. So 3 stars with Ulmeria, 2 with Dravosa, 1 with Pavadina, 2 with Ethan Stan won with Ardona, which really... Naporvi and Esherston. Not too bad. Are you ready for the royal treatment? Stay tuned for the next chapter of Foreign Affairs. And without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down description below, links to social media, a few links to support me and the content, as well as a link to our Discord. It's a great place to come chat, share things that you want, talk about things that you want, as well as we also have kind of like in-house streaming of like shows, movies, things like that will happen from time to time, on top of everything else that you can possibly think of. So consider coming and joining our Discord server. Thanks again for watching. Catch you all later. Peace out.